Wisconsin's football program has a long history of walk-ons, players making a mark on the team's success.
Some of the well-known walk-ons from the past who have gone on to NFL careers include J.J. Watt, Mark Tauscher, and Ricky Wagner.
It's all chronicled in the new book, Walk On This Way. Its authors Joel Nellis, who was himself a walk-on for the UW, and sports writer Jake Kocorowski is here to tell us all about this book. Thanks for being with us today.
Oh, happy to.
Thank you so much. Joel, you were a walk-on. Tell us about that.
Well, I had a chance in high school, after high school, to play. And
you went to Memorial.
I went to Madison Memorial High School and had opportunity to go to maybe Concordia St. Paul or La Crosse. And I also had my best friend's dad was a coach on the team for the Badgers, John Palermo, and offered me a chance to walk on. And I looked at the possibilities and said, hey, I have this phenomenal opportunity. A lot of guys have walked on before. Let me give it a shot.
So at what point did you think, like, this is going to be a good thing for me?
It certainly wasn't the first year.
It's tough. I imagine it's pretty tough.
It is. It was a grind, and it was something that I realized I wasn't as good as I thought I was. And I had an opportunity to get through the season, luckily, and then realize that everyone's going through the same thing, that everyone struggles, and I'm on a platform in the offseason with Lee Evans, and and Lee Evans, obviously, top 15 NFL draft pick. And I realized it's hard for everybody. And so I realized I just started changing my frame of mind and said, you know what? I made this decision to do it. I'm going to stick with it. And maybe the chance of me being a coach down the road was going to be a possibility. I figured, hey, I'm going to learn from the best. I'm going to have the opportunity to be a part of this program.
And your last 2 years, you had a scholarship.
And last 2 years, I was fortunate enough to be awarded a scholarship, correct.
So Jake, what's the background on this walk-on program?
Yeah, I mean, walk-ons aren't uncommon, Like right now, obviously you have 85 scholarships for Division I schools or FBS schools. And so you have, like, especially with at Wisconsin, you have 105 players coming to fall camp in August. And so 20 of those are going to be walk-ons. And then once school starts, you're having another 15 or so for the 120-man roster. That's for Wisconsin. But walk-ons are all common throughout college football. What makes Wisconsin's program so special is the fact, ever since 1990, when Barry Alvarez came to Wisconsin, is the simple fact that he's embraced the walk-on tradition, and he treats the walk-ons, and so have other coaches since then, as scholarship players. And so a lot of players you talk to, you'll hear the assistant coaches saying, I don't know when you're going to get your chance, but when you do, you have to take advantage of it. And so walk-ons, starting with a Corey Manley back in the early 1990s, to Joe Panos, a captain, now NFL agent, played in the NFL in the 1990s, now going up Jimmy Leonard, J.J. Watt, Mark Tauscher, Jared Abbrederis, all those names, it's built up over time, and that's what makes Wisconsin's walk-on tradition really special. Look at this year. Jack Sitchie, before his injury, Ryan Conley, who stepped up big at inside linebacker. Look at Dario Gumbawali, who's a team captain. So it's built up over time, and in Wisconsin, I mean, they're treated the same. The locker room is really close, regardless if you're a scholarship or walk-on player. And it's just a tradition that's really built up, and it's been special, and it's been fun to capture.
You keep saying that they're being treated the same, but what do you think that it is, if you had to get minute here, besides the physical buildup, the literal physical buildup, but if you're being treated the same, is it that a mental and emotional buildup as well? It's like, hey, you were just as good as our star player, and someday you'll have this chance, and then that day comes, and you just feel like $1 million.
Yeah, and I think it's a lot of the guys having trust and understanding that the people they're going to put on the field are the best possible for the team. And I think there's a lot of responsibility those guys have that, hey, they got to be ready, and they understand, there's that competitiveness of, hey, there's a scholarship guy I'm competing with. I felt like I might have been as good. So when that opportunity comes, I got to make the most of it, because there's a chance that when that guy comes back healthy, I might not be the guy anymore. And they want to put everything they have in that one effort, and there's a lot of stories we capture about that. And some guys never relinquishing that role, and so that's really neat to see.
What a great story, what a great program. And you went on to, you're a coach now, right?
Yes, currently coach at Brookfield Central High School.
Walk On This Way. Great read for Badger fans and anybody, really.
Absolutely.
What a success story.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Happy New Year.